Welcome to this transformative self-coaching program to help you integrate and reframe the feelings and beliefs of this pattern. This program is designed to help you feel better now and more empowered in daily life. To use this program, earphones are recommended. While you listen to the words, emotions may arise. Lightly tap on the karate chop throughout playback to help your body with grounding, soothing and presence. This work is not replacement for professional care. Take full responsibility for your well-being. Start the tap. Accepting my mother's absence. My inner child speaks. I now recall the current feeling, belief or circumstance. I want to help myself accept and realize that someone I loved is dead, and I want to allow myself to make space for their absence. My mother passed away a few months ago, and because she never acted like a mother to me, I blocked out the reality that I had a mother at all. I blocked out how sick she was, and it is hard to let myself feel the grief and accept the loss of someone I never allowed myself to emotionally acknowledge. I feel confused and torn between grieving someone who was never truly there for me and the strange emptiness left behind. I want to open space inside me to accept this loss, even though the relationship never had room to exist in the first place. And even though I am struggling to accept my mother's death and to make emotional space for a loss I once shut out, I meet this truth with compassion and allow myself to gently feel what is here. There is a part of me whispering that something huge has happened, and I still don't fully know how to let it in. The absence feels strange, like a hollow shape I was never taught how to fill. A part of me keeps avoiding the reality because acknowledging it feels too big. My heart tightens when I think of her illness and the distance that lived between us. Notice how this feels in your body. It feels unfair that I am grieving someone who never gave me the mothering I longed for. Sometimes it feels like I'm grieving the mother I never had more than the one I actually lost. Breathe into the heaviness. I sense guilt for not being more present, even though I protected myself the only way I knew how. There's fear that if I face the truth, I will be overwhelmed by emotions I kept buried for years. Let the body soften a little. It hurts to admit that I shut her out to survive, and now I feel conflicted about mourning her. A part of me feels broken for not knowing how to love her or how to be loved by her. There's sadness that I didn't get a chance to feel like someone's child in the way I needed. Notice where this sadness sits in your body. A heavy thought arises that maybe I wasn't meant to have a nurturing mother figure, and that feels painful. It feels like I lost something before I ever truly had it. Sometimes the grief turns into numbness, and the numbness feels like a betrayal of myself. Breathe deeply. There's a fear that letting myself feel this pain might unravel me. Another part of me feels abandoned all over again by her death. I see how unresolved the relationship feels, and it makes the grief sharper. Notice the sensations in your chest. I feel small, confused, and unsure how to mourn someone who gave me so much hurt and so little safety. This grief feels tangled, heavy, and layered with unmet needs that were never spoken. Deep down, I just want the space to feel my truth without judgment. Underlying beliefs. I believe I don't have the right to grieve someone who didn't show up for me. I believe acknowledging the loss means reopening wounds I tried to survive. I think I should have been stronger or more emotionally present, even though I was a child navigating pain alone. I suspect I learned to detach because it felt safer than wanting love I would never receive. I fear that allowing grief means admitting how much I needed her and how little she could give. I wonder if part of me still protects the old version of myself who survived by forgetting. I sense ego defenses trying to buffer the pain by numbing, distancing, or intellectualizing. I feel an old belief that I must manage everything alone because no one was reliably there to care for me. Adult, embrace and soothe your inner child. I'm sorry to my inner child who experienced a mother who couldn't offer the warmth, safety, or presence they needed. I'm sorry you had to navigate confusion, distance, and emotional absence without guidance. I'm sorry you learned to protect yourself by blocking your own feelings, because you were never shown healthy ways to process them. I'm sorry you carried the weight of longing for a mother's love while pretending you didn't need it. I'm sorry your grief now feels complicated, tangled, and heavy, because you never had a clear space to feel it. I'm sorry you had to grow up without the nurturing every child deserves, and now face the loss of someone who was never fully present. I give you permission to grieve at your own pace. I give you permission to forgive yourself for how you coped and survived. I release any guilt and shame you carry around this loss. I honor our journey together as we learn to feel and heal. I love you, exactly as you are, in all your tenderness. You are safe to feel, safe to let go, and safe to be yourself because the adult in me is here now and always will be. Message from Higher Self. Now that we've felt and honored the pain, allow understanding and light to arise naturally. You were never wrong for protecting yourself, your spirit simply chose survival. The absence you feel is not a flaw in you but a reflection of old dynamics that were never yours to fix. Grief is not only for those we loved easily, it is also for the unmet chapters, the lost possibilities, and the versions of self that finally understand the truth. Your heart is infinitely capable of healing, expanding, and creating space for compassion without needing to rewrite the past. There is an abundance of love available to you now, far beyond what childhood gave you. Her limitations never defined your worth or your potential, they were simply her limitations. You are returning to your innate wholeness, remembering that loss does not diminish your infinite nature. By acknowledging this grief, you restore your freedom, your softness, and your ability to receive love fully and without fear. Bridge into your new reality. Even though I once blocked out the truth of her illness, I now allow myself to gently open to what is real. Although I used to numb myself from the idea of having a mother, I am now creating safe space inside me to feel. Even though I was confused about grieving someone who was distant, I am now learning to honor my emotions with more clarity. Although the loss once felt abstract and foreign, I am now letting myself connect with my own truth. Even though I once feared the grief would overwhelm me, I now feel stronger in my ability to hold it. Reclaim your power. I choose to release the belief that I'm not allowed to grieve this loss. I choose to embrace growth by allowing myself to feel without judgment. I choose to engage with life by honoring both the pain and the healing emerging from it. I choose to stand in my infinite worth, knowing her absence does not diminish my essence. I choose to move forward with softness, wisdom, and a heart open to new forms of love. Seeing it done, I imagine myself feeling spacious, grounded, and soft as I acknowledge my mother's absence with clarity and compassion. I see myself now moving through life with a gentler heart, no longer weighed down by the confusion of blocked grief. I picture a version of me who mourns without shame, who feels without fear, and who lets this experience deepen my connection to myself rather than harden me. In this parallel reality, I move through the world with a calm knowing that I can hold both pain and peace, and that my healing honors the child I once was. My heart now understands the truth with calm and softness. I feel allowed to grieve and allowed to heal. I sense spaciousness inside me where numbness once lived. I experience a quiet warmth replacing old fear and confusion. I know in my bones that I am safe to feel and full of love. Take a deep closing and next steps. Take a deep rejuvenating breath. Congratulations on completing this transformative session. Take a note of how you feel in comparison to how you started. Be attentive to the reduction in the emotional weight of associated feelings and changes in how you react to things that used to trigger you. Feel free to repeat this program to completely shift and reframe this pattern and beliefs. For more details, see the link in the bio or description below.